What's up, y'all? Exodus 1, aka In the Sky, aka Trigger Ranking. Y'all kicking me in the Common Cafe. Um, yeah, so tonight we're gonna do a little freestyle. I got like a new channel. I'm liking to mess with Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Good channel, man. Really good channel. Y'all go check them out, but we're gonna do a little bit of reactions on this stuff. Um, we'll probably do this one with Reggie Wright. They're saying Reggie Wright was upset with Suge because some of the stuff Suge was saying. Suge said the man needed a diaper, Shawty.
The real ones know. Stepping into one circle means becoming part of them.
Okay. You know, Reggie Wright was stealing. He had made a publishing company under my name. He was just stealing all kind of shit, man. You know, we found that out.
That's Daz talking right there.
And now Snoop going through every corners of the Death Row catalog and just seeing like Alan Grunblatt from E1 stealing.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And Reggie Wright stealing.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. It looks like war's been declared, y'all. Reggie's back, and he's firing shots at Marion Knight like never before. He said it himself. The gloves are off this time.
Bro named Marion Knight.
According to Reggie, when it comes to death row, Simon was just a puppet who forgot his place. He claims he, along with David Kenner and Jimmy Iovine, were the real engine behind the label's success. Reggie might have said a little too much in this video. Reggie has called Simon a rat on numerous occasions. Because of that, he knew that using the rat insult wouldn't sting the same today. So now he's grasping at anything he can to discredit him. He even went so far as to bring up Simon's honeymoon, claiming he wet the bed that night.
All right, Reggie. I know you've kind of held back.
So this man said, I guess he said Suge pissed the bed on his wedding night. Like, this sounds crazy, bro.
When it comes to divulging a lot of the information you know on Suge, but given his recent comments, is there anything you want to say or expose while we're here?
I'll just go into it and then we'll touch on each topic individually in our next set of tapings. But just wanted to put this out because I know a lot of y'all heard the episode and y'all want me to respond. I'm trying to wait. I put out a call to see where it is coming from and to try to get some feedback because I don't want to be like a bitch and be spontaneous. I'm about to give you some heads up and just remind you of a few things, Mr. Knight.
But the craziest thing is they got a long history together, but it just look like when you help people, bro, it's like people turn their back on you, bro. If it wasn't for Suge Knight, bro, like he probably wouldn't even have what he got right now. So, and now the man want to talk bad about Suge. Crazy.
You think Gene Deal and them are having a ball talking about Puffy's life with adult women? Oh yeah.
Now he on some R. Kelly stuff. That's what he said, y'all.
Niggas to learn about peaches.
Peaches.
People about to learn about Stormy and ages of these girls. You was Art Kelly before there was an Art Kelly, motherfucker.
Damn. Those are some. I wouldn't want that on my jacket, bro. Plus, he was R. Kelly before R. Kelly. Damn.
You's a pedophile. You worse because you use your money to wine and dine the young girls that were still in high school.
Damn. Damn, cuz.
But you got nerves to speak on me like that, and you know I know all of this stuff about you. You and your herpes you've been infecting everybody with.
Damn. This is crazy.
How you have
This is
accused.
crazy. Man say the man spreading diseases around, like passing it around like it's a cold or something.
Your mother was messing with your daddy's brother?
What? This is weird.
Richard? You trying to say I was a drug dealer? Oh, I caught that joke or that little subliminal when you threw. You forget the name you used when you got arrested in the parking lot of Larry Parker's? For cocaine in your fucking glove box? Bro, you don't let people build your head up just like you lost death row because you forgot to play your role. You was a puppet for that company. You ran Dre off. You ran Dre off. You ran Dre off.
So nevertheless, you had guys getting $150 a day. He gave guys extra money. One guy got a check for $20,000, and he went to the bank to cash it. So they had to call him and talk to him personally. Did you really get his dude in here with a dirty T-shirt on and mommy jeans to cash a $20,000 check? He hit the verify and say, yeah. The problem with that, when they asked the guy, why did you get a $20,000 check? He said, because he gave me $20,000 to kill Suge Knight.
Now that's crazy, bro. That's wild work, dog.
And he told that to more than one guy. So, when they called me and I pulled up at him, they was paid to kill me. I'm not the one who said that. The people who got the money said that. Because they brought the checks to me, and to the PI, and to the lawyers when I was in the county jail. I'm locked up. Remember, I can't even use the phone. I can't even write nobody. Can't nobody write me. But at the same time, these guys sent a copy of the check and say, hey, show him this. I'm like, okay, why are you showing me? He said, because he want to know that Andre paid us to kill you.
You ran Jimmy off. You ran Jimmy off.
It's crazy.
You ran Jimmy off.
And rest in peace, Easy D. One thing about Eric, Ax told me one day I thought Andre did all the music, all the beats. All right, well, you know what Eric told me? People send our demos in. Andre redo them. Redo the rap.
Yeah.
That's the song.
All right.
I took that same get down, so basically I took it from easy and did the same shit. I took it from easy and took it to another level.
All right.
And guess what? Jimmy Iovine sent me to prison and stole it from me. Jimmy Iovine sent me to prison and stole it from me. Jimmy Iovine sent me to prison and stole it from me.
You ran David Cameron. You ran David Cameron. You ran David Cameron.
And sometimes you find out stuff, and I ain't trying to take the thing away from all what we're talking about, but sometimes you find out things later on that is so bad to you, it just makes your blood boil. I found out recently that allegedly one of my attorneys, David Kenner, was involved in the assassination of Tupac and me getting shot.
And this man basically is trying to say, oh, why you ran these people off, bro? These folk, they had bounties on this man's head.
I never should have went to prison the first time I went to prison, but I had caught the accounting firm who Jimmy and this is too. They stole like about $30-40 million, you know. One thing with my accounts was I signed all my checks. So any check was over $5,000, I definitely had to sign it. And they was giving David $100,000 a month, and David said he was giving Jimmy a kickback of $100,000 a month. So we spent for all the work he did as an attorney, and he was giving him $100,000 a month. Wow. And buying cars and houses and stuff.
I don't got premium, y'all.
$100,000 a month. Wow. And buying cars and houses and stuff.
You ran Reggie off. You ran Reggie off. You ran Sharita off. You ran Sharita off.
Perez was all involved. They were trying to kill me too, because Perez and Redden was good friends, and Perez and Sharita and Redden.
Basically, Perez, that's who kicked off like the Rampart scandal. And what happened was that movie Training Day was based on like some of the stuff that was going on with the Rampart scandal. And Perez was the officer that Denzel Washington was portraying in the movie.
And Sharita and Redden's great friend, and so all those three together was trying to plot.
Sharita. Oh yeah, Sharita. You forget about the story? You forget what happened to y'all on your wedding night, shirt night? You forget? When she woke up, I always told her that I was going to start off my movie. Tell him yes. This is going to start off my movie with y'all on your wedding night. And you pissing in the bed on her. Sharita, tell me I'm lying.
Reggie said the opening scene of his movie is going to be Simon's wedding night. Why is the first scene of your story focused on another man's wedding night? That says a lot without saying much. That kind of personal jab just shows one thing, that Reggie might be running out of gas. Because let's be clear, Simon wetting the bed isn't a bigger deal than Reggie telling his security team not to carry weapons the night Tupac was murdered. Simon's wet bed sheets aren't more scandalous than Buntry being murdered in a vehicle registered to Reggie. Just one day after he went to seek legal counsel from the Baker law firm because of Reggie. Reggie is going to have to do a whole lot better than that.
When he pissed in the bed on your wedding night. Okay. All right, sure. Let's talk about Big Black, sure. You took the gloves off. I told you the gloves gonna come off. And this is just an iceberg. This is just an iceberg of what's going on. You forgot about Big Black? You know I know about Big Black. You know your women talk to me. How you like that up your ass, Big Black.
What?
Nigga, I told you not to fuck with me, not to mention my name. This is episode 1 of this shit. You took respect and love as fear. When have I ever feared you? I protected you. You fuckwits right now. That you call your friend, you was talking about Freaky D, call that your little brother. How would anybody want to be a friend of yours? Tell us who you talk to on the phone at least once or twice a week. You know, the dude that killed Buntry.
Yeah, I ain't even play that interview, but we're gonna go back to some older ones, y'all. Hold on. So I watched that one earlier today, but I'm gonna come back. I might come back and watch that one. Okay, we can watch this one, cause this one right here go crazy though. Like this one where they expose Whack like man, but they expose Whack so bad on this one. Same channel, y'all. Most scandalous Los Angeles. But the voice he be using for his like voiceover, man, it should be funny.
Okay, so you caught a couple of juvenile cases along the way.
Attempted murders. You know, like my whole record was violence.
So they're basically saying all this is cap.
You just really don't understand how that interview.
Yeah, we don't fuck with, listen, dog. Listen, the only police we fuck with is the crooked police, is power rules and crips, is gang members, that niggas don't know they gang members. We fuck with them police, them the homies.
Yeah.
They do everything we need them to do. It's a lot of them out here, you know, they pull a nigga over and taking what we need to take. Them the police we fuck with. So we fuck with police.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Porky has really outdone himself this time. Reggie Wright and John over at Bomb First tried to help him, but somehow he still managed to throw himself under the bus. Just like every other time, we've caught Porky in another lie, and this time, it's serious. Today, we're about to prove that he really did go to jail. He really was picked up and brought in for questioning. Now, if you know Porky like we do, then you already know. He lies so much. We can't just focus on just this one. Before we even get into the jail story, we have to touch on some of the other lies he's told recently. I won't take too long on it, but let's go back to that story he told about being CK Whack and how that persona supposedly came to life in Soledad.
And I went to reception, and they put me in cell with a G homie named Baby Wayne from Billistown Power Group. And I think at that point is when my penitentiary training started. You know, because he had been to prison 2-3 times. The good thing about Baby Wayne was a knockout artist. And when you're a young Power in the cell with a G homie, you're gonna fight at least 3-4 times a week, just because. So, you know, he kind of got me stronger with my push-up game, my physical game, and he made me squabble him every day, almost. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. And Soledad was really, that was the birth. That was the birth of CK Whack. That was the birth of CK Whack. When I hit that yard. CK stands for Crip Killer. Cause see, I was Lil Whack. From there, I went to CK Whack.
According to Porky, he left Delano State Prison and was transferred to Soledad. And that's where the name CK Wack was born. The only problem with that is that in a separate interview from 8 years ago, Porky said he went straight to Soledad when he first hit the penitentiary at 16 years old.
Where the drug business came from, I went to the pen assignment, I was the first juvenile to actually go to California State Penitentiary at 16. Now you could throw it out, already ran through that, so at 16, I'm in Soledad, so at 16, I'm in Soledad, so at 16, I'm in Soledad State Penitentiary. So from 16 to 22, so from 16 to 22, so from 16 to 22, I run through like 7 different prisons.
You're 19 years old when you get out?
Yeah, I'm like 19. I do probably like 2.5, 3 years of solitary confinement time. I do probably like 2.5, 3 years of solitary confinement time.
Porky just claimed he was the first minor in the California prison system, being sent to Soledad at just 16 years old.
That sounds like a lie.
But now, listen to this old interview with Vlad. In this one, Porky clearly says he went to Delano at 16, and that Delano was his first prison. So, which one is it? Soledad or Delano?
The prison came to Central Juvenile Hall, pulled into Central Juvenile Hall when they left LA County Jail and picked me up from Central Juvenile Hall and took me straight to Delano State Penitentiary. Now you see right here, look, let me show you. The first one, it was at
So there's somebody right here, they breaking down the man paperwork on the screen, they breaking the shit down.
offender with new AOJ, that's adult offender juvenile, okay?
This is your first entrance into the system.
That's your first entrance into the system. He went to North Current State Prison, NKSP. Now you can see he likes to play games. So you gotta understand, North Current State Prison is Delano, okay? That's old Delano. They have a new Delano, which is a level 4, okay? The prison bus came to Central Juvenile Hall, pulled into Central Juvenile Hall when they left LA County Jail and picked me up from Central Juvenile Hall and took me straight to Delano State Penitentiary. He'll try to say, I went to Delano to make you think he'd been at a higher level than he did. He was at reception, right? Then, the next prison he went to was SATF, Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, which is the level 2, okay? That's where he paroled from.
I thought Porky said he was 16 years old at Soledad. I thought he said he went to Soledad after he left Delano. See all the lies you have to sift through when dealing with this guy?
He didn't go to 9 prisons like he alleged, okay? He got paroled. If you see, he got the prison on 131.95. He paroled 4/1/98. He got paroled. If you see, he got the prison on 131.95. He paroled 4/1/98. 95 to 98 is 3 years. I don't give a fuck what kind of arithmetic you try to use with it.
Porky got to Delano in 1995 when he was 18 years old. He paroled in 1998 at 21. That timeline makes one thing crystal clear. It was impossible for him to be at Soledad at 16. If Porky never went to Soledad, then there was never a birth of CK Wack. The whole story was built on a lie. Just enough.
Yeah, well, I heard like Wack be lying, dog. You know what I'm saying? On my part of them, Spider Loke said that man was lying on him, bro. Say he known for lying and shit.
Fiction.
Okay? But this is the kind of fraudulent dude that is out here on this internet trying to, you know what I'm saying, pretend to be somebody and something that he's not. You see what I'm saying? Go to the next one. It say return from parole, re-entry 3, which means the county jail. He never went back to the prison. You see what I'm saying? He was in the county jail from 6/2 to 7/25 of 98. Okay? He returned to parole. Then 3 days after Christmas in 1998, same year, he got another violation, returned from parole, re-entry 3. He went to the county jail. You see what I'm saying?
The treatment that I've received through detox is tremendous. I looked at.
He was returned to parole. Then he discharged on 2/25/2002 from Region 3. Discharged from sentence. Okay? All that talk about he was in there for all this shooting and attempted murders and all of this shit, this motherfucker got one charge of 245 PC A2, okay? Which is assault with a firearm, okay?
So as you just saw, Porky never set foot in Soledad. So all that talk about Soledad was just another lie.
So
There was
Porky
never a
never
birth
set
of
foot in
CK
Soledad. That nigga said that was the birth of Crip Killer CK Whack. Bro made that shit sound like a movie the way he said that shit. He said that was the birth, like that's the shit that started the flames, Soledad.
That entire story was completely fabricated. Then there's the claim about spending 2 to 3 years in solitary confinement. Lie. Being the first minor in the California prison system. Lie. Being 16 years old at Soledad. Lie. That's 5 lies in one story. Back to back. But this is what Porky does. Now let me show you guys how Porky fell on his own sword. You won't find this next clip on YouTube anymore, because Porky had Cheeseburger Chuck take it down.
Hey Chuck, we just want to talk about when you gonna bring the audio from being talking to them people. We want to know what he said. We can clear all this stuff.
Who's that, Chuck?
That's Deuce.
So I just PCK always talking to me. We in the streets. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Every time he does this, it's a PC move.
Always notice how Porky reacts when Deuce questions him. He can't stand it. He cuts him off, yells over him, or accuses him of PCing for talking to him on a social platform. But when it comes to DZ from SBGBTV, it's a whole different story. Porky gives him content and plays along.
Oh, what's up, homie?
Okay, yeah, as long as it's black on here, because if it's somebody else, we're not doing that.
Listen, I'm not doing it. Listen to me. Hey, listen to me. This real shit, right? We always know what we're doing, right? We always know what we're doing. And believe it or not, right? We are the most supported people of our people on the internet, right? It's a lot we can do. Remember, I'm an industry guy. I'm tired in the labels. I'm tired in the YouTube, right? So what I'm telling you, brother, is like, I called in to you intentionally because I saw you was building. I didn't have to do that. People pay me to do that. I did it, I did it. Let me call in and give them the content. We always know what we're doing. And I'm saying that to say this. At some point, bro, you run your content, but you gotta have some type of reserve when you're running it. Because remember, it's our content. You get what I'm saying? And then, okay, so doing these type of things, right? There's certain things that, especially when it comes to me as a public figure, right? I own me. You right? I haven't given you a verbal or signed anything, right? So what I'm saying is, as a brother, I'm talking as a brother, fuck to people. When a brother is calling in to help you, because I'm giving you notice the content I gave you, you've been able to chop that shit up and run with it for about a month now, a couple weeks. Really, a month? At least, right? But it gotta come to some point, bro, to where it's just not like an attack thing. Because in that point in time, listen to me, you as a brother, I'm a businessman, right? At that point in time, just from friend to foe. I called in as a friend, no matter what our back and forth was.
I chose to stay on the phone. I know, bro, I've been doing this social media shit forever. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name, because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them, it helps them. You get what I'm saying? I know that. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name, because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them, it helps them. You get what I'm saying? I know that. So I'm telling you, brother to brother, run your content, especially gave you content. Listen, me and you have nothing to talk about it established. Chuck, this is what you call a PC move. Bro, stop talking while you keep warning the people. Leave our shit in the street. Listen, every time you do this, you saying fuck your neighborhood because you on some PC shit. It's in the street, bro. Leave it where it's at. Means you don't talk like this. We leave it in the street, in the darkness. Why is everywhere? I'm not in the street. Stop it. I just left you ain't in the power rules, you ain't in Kazabe, you don't hang in the parts in the garage, remember? Weird ass nigga. I know. Fake. Yes, I'm fake. You making Food Town really bad right now. So I'm one of the great things that ever came from that. For the 30s, bro. Food Town Browns, y'all know when it's street business and it's up to disrespect level of me and him, he ain't supposed to do this shit. It's a PC move. I'm gonna mute up Chuck. When he done doing the PC shit, I'll let you. Well, I didn't do what he done. Well, I didn't say nothing about me and you. I asked you about the statement that you made. If you stop waiving your Miranda rights, that means that there's a statement in audio. You need to go get that and prove you ain't CS2 back. So that got nothing to do with me and you. That's you trying to clear your name. Don't bring the police. The police can't vouch to say that you're not working with the police. You got Foot Town bro looking bad right now, bro. We in the streets. You got bro, stop listening. Don't talk to me on no open platform. You got Foot Town bro looking bad as well, okay? Over there. Why you doing that PC ass again? What's that got to do with your paperwork? Bring the paperwork and the statement that you made to the task force and the FBI on the Main Street case and the Tupac and Biggie murder and clear your name. You say that the truth can never be considered. Hey Chuck, you know what would be funny, right? This would be funny. I'm talking to you, Chuck. I'm talking. It's when people say dumbass shit, it makes them look dumb. Chuck, I was in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999. When was Tupac and Biggie killed, Chuck?
96, right? 96,
97, right? I'm mute up, but I gave a statement on him. I'm mute up.
Let's make sure Wack knows that he ain't fooling nobody. Hey Wack, the Tupac and Biggie murder are still unsolved. That means it's still being investigated right now.
That's true. Those are facts. Those are facts.
The moment I saw her, I knew she was the one. There was just something about her. Something in her smile, the way she looks at me, how she lights up the room, wherever she...
We can show plenty of people who were in jail during the time of the murders, who gave statements about the murder. You ever heard of a jailhouse informant? You ever heard about Kenneth Bo Agnew? What about Waymond Anderson? Marion Knight and Stutterbox were both suspects in the murder, and you were around both of them during the time investigations were taking place. So you could have very easily been giving the police information you obtained while being around them.
I say you gave a statement to the task force that was investigating that. Greg Cadence, and then the other officer that said you was arrested.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
If I'm in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999, what the fuck can I give a statement on, Chuck? Listen,
You admitted that Greg came
I'm still trying to figure out though how whack, because I done heard him say all kind of stories about they seen him in the car with Suge and all this, and he was Suge driver. So I'm like, if you was in prison, how are all these stories like you saying? How is it? I don't know.
Fucking with Death Row though, like in
2001. 2001. 2001. This guy, you don't know what you're doing around. Stop making the real good bad, bro. Leave our shit in the street. It's already up. Chill out.
We
But you didn't mind to what's up. You didn't mind to what's up. Stop talking to me, bro. Why are you talking to me when it's on? It's doing a PC move.
The truth first. All I'm talking about is your paperwork. Stop spinning, stop deflecting. When is you going to work?
It's so beautiful about the paperwork.
For the 60
I don't have no paperwork, bro. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing.
Wack just claimed he has no paperwork because he was never arrested or even questioned. But you guys heard it straight from former Los Angeles Sheriff Michael Cowett. The only person who got arrested was Porky. Reggie and John deleted the clip, so don't bother looking for it on YouTube. Porky swore up and down that he was never brought in for questioning. Remember that.
It's so beautiful about the paperwork. BKY, 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 Lil White, White 100.
Or the white boy. Or the white boy.
Put that on Fruit Down Grill. Look,
Or the white boy.
put that on Fruit Down Grill. Put that on Fruit Down Grill. I know.
On Fruit Down
Put that on Fruit Down Grill.
Two back. On
On your dead homie.
You CS2 back, aka the
I'm gonna go get to work.
All right, guys. Now that we've heard all that, and we've heard Porky himself say he was never arrested or questioned, let me show you how he actually threw himself under the bus. But before we get to that, I need to show you how Bomb first cut out another one of Detective Michael Cowett's key statements in his interview.
Do you know how she even came to play in the information?
Not fully. To the best of my ability, from what I understand, a lot of people were under surveillance, including Reggie Wright, and that they, somehow got some information on Teresa Swan, who was one of Suge's mothers to one of his kids, and that they basically wrote up a false confession letter and presented that to her to get her reaction, and then that pretty much prompted the confession. Am I accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
So,
did y'all catch that? The scene just skipped like something was cut out. Let me run it back real quick so you can see it again.
Accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
Yeah, if you want paying attention,
Paul Fournier, myself, and
that
Jeff
shit clip.
Bennett.
We already know Baum first removed the clip of Michael Cowett, clearly saying the only arrest made was Cash Jones. They also cut out another crucial part of Cowett's interview. And guess who exposed it? None other than Porky Chops himself. In a sloppy move to distance himself from the CS two-back allegations, Porky secretly recorded a conversation with Stutterbox, then ran to Clubhouse to play it. But while trying to clear his name, he ended up airing out a segment from Baum first. The exact part Reggie and John edited out to protect him.
Now, this next clip gonna make even more sense to y'all. Right? You heard him say, I told the police, if y'all looking at Wack for doing anything illegal with them trucks, he ain't, which is a lie, because ain't no way they gonna spend $300,000-400,000 watching my truck if a nigga tell them that. Right? Play the next clip.
Play that clip.
Are you talking about Teresa Swan?
Yes.
Teresa Swan was. Do you know how she even came to play in the information?
Not fully. To the best of my ability, from what I understand, a lot of people were under surveillance, including Reggie Wright, and that they, somehow got some information on Teresa Swan, who was one of Suge's mothers to one of his kids, and that they basically wrote up a false confession letter and presented that to her to get her reaction, and then that pretty much prompted the confession. Am I accurate there, or am I off on some stuff? Accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
So,
accurate there, or am I off on some stuff?
How Teresa Swan came into play here is, originally we were following some guy around in the Antelope Valley, and Greg had thought that this guy was going to be able to get us to Suge because he had some relationship with a not so famous rapper at the time, and he somehow thought this guy was going to get him into Suge. So we chased this guy around in the Antelope Valley for several months, and really nothing came of it. The guy, he eventually was brought in for questioning, and
I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, questioned.
he eventually was brought in for questioning. And
There, Porky goes falling on his own sword again. Porky said he wasn't arrested. Detective Cowett said he was arrested. Porky said he never was questioned, and Detective Cowett said he was brought in for questioning. Both of these clips have been deleted by Bomb first, but thanks to good old Porky, we were able to get our hands on this one. Also, don't overlook this key detail. The only reason Detective Cowett is even bringing up Porky in this part of the interview is because he's explaining to John how they ended up zeroing in on Teresa Swan. To tell that story, he had to start with Porky specifically, how they were following him around the Antelope Valley. Now, for those who don't know, Teresa Swan is the mother of one of Marion Knight's kids. And she's the person who gave Greg Kading the final missing pieces to the whole Poochie killed Biggie narrative tied to Marion Knight. So the real question becomes, what does Porky being brought in for questioning have to do with Teresa Swan? Because if Cowett had to start with Porky to get to her, that connection might be deeper than Porky wants us to know.
so Paul Fournier, myself, and Jeff Bennett decided that we should probably go after somebody that Suge was close to in the 90s, thinking that, because we were hearing the same things too, that Poochie Wardell Faust was responsible. So we, the three of us, Jeff Bennett, Paul Fournier, and I, started looking into what Teresa Swan was doing as far as criminal activity at the time present during the task force era. And we discovered that she was flipping cars or something, high-end cars with fraudulent names. And we discovered that she was flipping cars or something, high-end cars with fraudulent names.
Say like you may take a load of BMWs down to San Diego, right? Boom. It's like 200 miles. Pay my driver like $1,100. Then you'll pick up a load of Porsches from San Diego, let's just say going to San Francisco.
And we've discovered that she was flipping cars or something, high-end cars with fraudulent names. So we got our commercial crimes bureau involved with it and had them look into exactly what she was doing. And at the same time, we brought a district attorney on board from LA County to let her know what our end goal was, and that was in the event Teresa Swan had good information and could connect Suge to Teresa Swan and to Poochie, that we would want to give her some kind of consideration in the case. And the district attorney was on board. So when we eventually arrested her and brought her in for questioning,
According to Detective Cowett, Teresa Swan was arrested and brought in for questioning, just like he said Porky was. Now think about everybody whose name was changed in Greg Kading's movie. Think about the fact that Teresa Swan's real name is Tammy Hawkins.
It was very clear that she was more than willing to talk and was, I believe, being truthful with how the murder of Biggie happened and how it was paid for through the monies of Suge. So, and then Greg came on board and started with some of the stuff, and they ended up doing a in-camera interview with her to lock in her interview. So I'm not sure I recall the letter with the false statement that you're referring to or not. I was just in with her on the initial arrest and interview process.
Okay. And the individual that you guys were following that you were talking about previously, just to confirm, that was WAC 100, to my knowledge?
There was what?
A guy named WAC 100 that you guys were following initially to try to get to Suge, and then you realized that he really wasn't going to get you there in Antelope Valley?
I think that's who it is. I don't recall that name, but yeah, the guy, to me, it was a waste of time chasing that guy for as long as we did.
Yeah. I think his government name is Cash Jones.
Yes. Yep. There you go. Yes.
Okay.
Cass McElroy Jones. Next segment, more whack lied on Spider Lope
Today you
and on 40
aren't the
Cloud.
same person. If you're tired of what Today You is doing, get an accounting fundamentals certificate from WGU School of Business and get a whole new Tomorrow You in just 6 months. Enroll today at WGU.
Those who answer the call of the vagabond know that the best stories aren't about where
What y'all think about this whole Tory Lanez thing? That boy Tory Lanez in jail, he ain't even did nothing, bro. That's crazy. This man, I'm talking about, almost lost his life. And I don't care, they could call me a snitch or whatever. If I was Tory, I would have told exactly what happened, bro.
It wasn't just a lie. It was clout chasing at Spider's expense. And that's the moment Spider said he was done with Porky. I'm doing this video to show y'all just how long Porky's been lying and how deep this pattern really runs. This right here is the clip Spider was talking about. It wasn't recent. It was uploaded 8 years ago.
See, me and Game, like coming up, me and Game is really, Suge don't like Game. Right? For whatever reason, right? We don't have a reason. We don't like Game. So, it was a situation that occurred in Game and touched bases on it on the song in the doc too. When he said he went in his pocket and handed me some money. That's true. But it was an event that happened before that when I was at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills. Me, Suge, the homie Lil John from Fruital Paru, and Zach from Treetop Paru having a meeting. I get a call from the homie Britt from Westside. He tell me that she was having surrounded at the Hyatt on Sunset, right? And they needed some help. So I tell Suge I'm about to roll and see what's happening with the homie. Suge like, man, fuck Game, man. Fuck that. I said, Suge, check this out. End of the day, that's a power room. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go and assist these power rooms. Now, if I get caught up or fucked off on account of you not assisting me, that's something you gotta deal with. So I spared off Lil John and Zap. Follow. I pull up, sure enough. 40 Glock, Spider Lope, that's my nick from 9-7 East Coast. he leading the rally, because back then he was like G-Unit West, shit like that, right? When I got out, I'm like, Spider, what's happening? Right? He's like, Wagner, you know, we on this Black Wall Street G-Unit shit, right? I said, man, where's 50 at? I said, bring 50 at on Power Road, I'll make you run that fade, right? So he like, you know, he ain't here. I said, it's like some game man shit to me. I ain't never seen no West Coast allow them nowhere to put a steering wheel in their motherfucking back. Talking about G-Unit, you from East Coast, right? Yeah. So at this time, Zap and them stopped in the middle of the street, Suge poured in and using that red Bentley, right? So now I can only imagine Game's mind frame, because he know him and Suge is beefing. He know my name, but we don't know each other, but he know I'm running with Suge Cuff every day, right? So he got 40 G-Units, and Suge been pulled up with one of his hitters. So, but he's standing to the side and valley behind his car, assessing the situation. So I, you know, Spider like, Whack, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I said, listen, Spider, I got 16 of them. I don't know what that motherfucking Suburban got in. So this is what we gonna do. How about we say, Spider Low gave Black Wall Street a pass today. So Spider looks at me, because we go back to the juvenile side of the county. Spider Low was soldier, right? So it just came down to a real respect thing where they left. So I'm gonna introduce myself to Game.
Let's get this straight. Porky just said that when he pulled up, Foti and Spider were both out there. Then, after they left, he went and introduced himself to Game. But let's pause right there. You introduce yourself to someone when you're meeting them for the first time. That's the whole point of an introduction. You don't introduce yourself to somebody you already know. I want you guys to keep that in mind as we move forward.
So I'm gonna introduce myself to Game. Game told me, pull up on me, let's talk, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And let's, you know, start moving together, whatever. So like 3 months went by, and he got with my man Stutterbox from Main Street, sent his number, and I pulled up on him. He was doing LAX at the time. And I walked in, he was in the booth, sitting for me to come to the booth. I walked in the booth, he just went in his pocket and gave me everything he got. He didn't realize that, he probably didn't give a fuck, gave me like $18 shit. He just handed me everything he had. He like, that's just out of respect of what you did for me. He like, that's just out of respect of what you did for me. Let's start moving. I'm up on the Jimmy Henson right now.
So according to Porky, after he met up with the Game handed him $18,000. And not just randomly. He said it was out of respect for what Porky allegedly did for him. Basically, Porky is claiming he saved Game from 40, Spider, and G-Unit. And that this act of heroism is what earned him that money. Then, right after that, Porky says Game told him, let's start moving. So let's be clear. This is Porky himself telling you that the Spider/40 Glock situation is what put him next to Game. That's what got him in the door, and that's what started the movement. We didn't twist or create that narrative. He said it. You heard it. That one moment of chaos, Porky claims that's what turned him from a bystander to a business.
That's a goddamn, what is CS2 back? You will tell.
Remember that.
But it's like, you know, it's a little shaky coming to my situation. I like what you did with Ray J, and let's put it together. And that's when we start moving. Started from there. And that's when we start moving. Started from there. And that's when we start moving. Started from there.
So you just heard it for yourself. Porky said that was the moment it all started. That's when they started moving. He made it clear. Everything between him and Game began right there, after that incident. So now there's no need to speculate about how or when their relationship started. He just laid it out. Which leaves us with one simple question. Was Spider actually there?
Right, no money. That's what I meant.
Not saying, huh?
Now, what is there to be found?
He was recently coming at YG tough. You see
Yeah,
that?
I've seen that, man.
That was interesting, because Blueface did a video with YG like a week before that.
But that's Wax MO. What else do you know about Wax other than he's had interaction with other men and most of them negative?
Right.
What else? There's nothing else to know about.
That's a lot of that is what we know for interacting with people on social media, going at people's heads.
That's it. And then even when he's speaking positive, he's always speaking about another. There's no accolades to speak about himself until now. He's attached to a successful project. For the last 10 years, however long you've been seeing establish yourself, it's always about having another in your name.
When did you guys start to have a problem? What did it say?
I don't know.
What did it say?
I looked up on the internet and he was talking about someday he was in Hollywood. He got a phone call from Doja saying that I had him surrounded. And Doja called for help. He said he was with Suge Knight. And him and Suge Knight had a conversation about should they go. Suge like, we ain't going over there. Mobb Deep was supposed to be involved. And I had me and Mobb Deep and some OG niggas had Doja surrounded in Beverly Hills.
I had a hotel in Santa Monica. Somebody told me that.
Thank you. Wack No Honey told the world that I was going to do something. And he had time to get a phone call. Argue with Suge Knight and show up and diffuse the situation. Nobody that knows me will believe that.
Wack came and say that
all this time we was waiting on you to show up. I was never there. I have no recollection of this.
Oh, so you weren't even there at all?
Never have been there.
Oh, wow.
So when I seen you was bold enough to tell that lie on me, it's fuck.
So Spider like,
Yeah,
he
you know
wasn't
it's
even
not
know.
true. There was too many other people there. Supposedly, Prodigy recalls this whole story in his audio book. My name is not mentioned.
I was relaxing and writing rhymes in my hotel room before
This
getting ready
Prodigy
for the
own
concert
words.
when the 40 Glock knocked on the door. Yo, the game is outside in front of the hotel with some basketball dude. He said, we got the drop on him. He doesn't even know we here in his hotel. What you want to do? 40 pulled out a 45 caliber pistol and continued. He saw Nice with the Mobb Deep Game Over shirt and got spooked, cuz. My man Maniac walked over to him and offered him a one-on-one fight. He's still out there right now? I asked. Yeah, cuz. We spit lungies all over his Bentley, 40 said. Look over the balcony, cuz. Give me the gun. I said. Y'all niggas put the video camera on game. I'm gonna shoot the gun off the balcony and we catch him on camera ducking and running from the shots. Cuz, you tripping. We on Sunset, 40 said. You know how fast...
Yeah, you on Sunset, bro. You talking about dumping at a Bentley on Sunset.
Look, I'm not gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him in the air. So we can get him on camera scared to death. I said, the gun will be long gone.
Man, hot as a firecracker doing all that, bro. That's definitely not what we need, sir. But Wack be having some stories, man. Like the one where he talking about he chased Future. Future was like, bro, I never seen this man a day in my life, bro. I never seen Wack 100.
Hotter than fish grease, 40 said. Let's just go beat his ass. Okay, I'll meet you in Harry's room in 5 minutes. After I got dressed, I went to Harry's room and what I wanted to do. No, you bugging, P, Ash said. I'm gonna go down and talk to him. Real men
try to talk it out before they, get the fisticuffs and all that. Yeah, just real men try to settle it with words.
out. What? There's nothing to talk about, I said. Man, fuck talking. Real men talk things out.
Let me see if I can find this one. Hold on.
And repeated. I knew what had meant. Of course, men can talk. But in this situation,
That is crazy. I'm gonna have to go to one of my whack joints I recorded. Let me see.
What are you talking about? I said it. I said they just not go just because you're cold, he get killed. Okay, this dude with Charles Barker and his artist, right? They just killed one of them niggas in Houston today, right? By the way, that's crazy, ain't it? No, that's just how I go, right? If you remember, they kept saying the Sauce Walker was some Memphis situation. We're not doing none of that. We ain't doing none of that. Listen, bro, Houston a big old place. See, no, you talk that shit, and you motherfuckers do that punk shit. Cause what you finna try to do is insinuate stuff, bro. It ain't Saul's fault that this nigga went down.
Whack, I got all these fools out there. Shit, Big U last ride.
Then you put charges against anybody. So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna turn myself in to see what's going on. We talking about the fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police and they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, it was actually about rap. Rap, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all five. All of y'all who be sending shit around the internet. All of y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying. All of y'all giving these likes and hidden likes. All of y'all supporting this. All of y'all giving this fuck shit. If you have someone against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He worked with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all these different celebrities and told all these different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They went around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This is the
They saying, Big, you fighting the whole
black
murder,
trying to help
bro.
somebody, trying to help your community, and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like it. They go on the internet and do what the fuck they want to. Y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in, though.
I know that was a hard pill to swallow, bro. Last ride, bro. Like, damn. You gotta go turn yourself in. You were living good. Living like a king. And, yeah, you gotta turn yourself in and let's just start all over again. This is excerpt from SBGB TV. say you ain't never been booked before. Crazy. You ain't never been booked before.
Federal charges. Feds is different. It don't matter. You haven't had feds. Hey, bro, the feds is not wasting their time. When a nigga talking about he want to fight a nigga. Well, why do they waste their time to go talk to Adam? So they're threatening you. They're wasting their time to talk to you when they talk to Adam. Talk to Adam about Brick Baker's an employee. I don't know. She's got to ask him.
I will show you how.
You niggas. No. It's not listen. I'm asking you because I do a podcast with a nigga don't mean I do everything with a nigga. When I do it you from 12 to 1 is when I do it you from 12 to 1. What the fuck you doing from 9 to 12 is your business. So this shit is 2021 shit, 2022 shit, 2023, 2024. Fucking Brick Baby. The world didn't know who he was till 2023 or late 2022 when he got to know Jumper. He's a nobody. Let's establish that now. Nigga was in fucking Atlanta. I've never seen this nigga day in my life. Let's establish that. Okay. But Wack, you're still making a point. No, I'm not. If they talk to Adam, I would assume they would at least, again, Adam's not in trouble. It's not like you weird as a monkey. Look, you listen, listen. If you assume they talk to me, then I assume your woman's a transgender. You fuck with a man. That's where we at. I don't own no jumper. Like, I don't own no jumper. I don't have employees at no jumper. I'm a partner on one show.
That nigga working.
I don't control the bills. I don't control cameras. I don't control payroll, bro. Stop playing with me with these narratives. No, that's not the thing I'm saying. Stop playing with me with these narratives. Yo, Big U is I ain't got nothing to do with extortion, sex trafficking, a murder of a fucking football player, a fucking creed that I've been attacking and exposing for the last couple of years. I ain't got nothing to do with what a nigga got caught with at his house. I ain't got nothing to do with a dispensary. Yeah, but they're not trying to put my name in shit, bro. Like, when they did mention an incident that they're saying Big U Enterprise tried to step to you and they weren't successful. So, no, they mentioned Big U having a phone call. They didn't mention witness or CI reports. See, this way you can, I'll let you mention. If they would have said, witness one or CI reports, it happened. You got a point. This is Big Q on the phone as Luke Cutting is saying, we robbed Big Bill, which has been a lie. I told you that was a lie. Did I not? It's a fucking lie. Nobody robbed Big Bill. I told you that. That's cat. None of that never happened. If he was there, he ain't going for none of that. That nigga gonna come back on a Delta flight before he let a nigga just rob Big Bill in front of him. Wait. Did you say that to Luce? Did you say that to Luce? Did you tell Luce? I told Luce that. That's cat. So you told Luce I think you're about no money. It wasn't even about no money. Look, Meat Meals told Big Q, I'll give you a free day ticket to come perform for the kids. He said, cool, I'll come perform for the kids for free. The kids, right? Big Q, with his slick ass, you know what he does? He goes sells the gate to a promoter. So somebody called Meek to book him on that date. Meek took his bag because it was free for the kids. He said, yo, change the date. Big U.
I know you have heavily interviewed Nature G, Herbo, Polo G, all of these people, especially when it came down to your Warren Chirac era or whatever, with everything that you covered with the Chicago culture, did this interview, did it make you look
what they talking about. I said they just not go, just because you're cold, he get killed. Okay, this dude with,